you are thrilled to live in New Hampshire, where we file a federal tax return today, but there's no state tax return. I promise you that as long as I'm here, and as long as this majority you sent here remains, there will be no state income tax.
Understand what government does. It goes to people and says to them, give me your money, or we will essentially cause you to go to jail eventually if you don't.
Now, I don't believe that Governor Shaheen had the same intent as we see in the Obama administration, which is as part of their political campaign to divide this country and to divide women against Catholics by introducing a mandatory contraceptive coverage in policies and then backing off and saying, well, it really doesn't exist. Oh, the insurers, however, have to provide it. But that is what the Obama administration is trying to do. And by doing that, they're trampling on our religious freedoms.
The payment of taxes is coercive, and that's why it ought to be done very, very judiciously.
The big spenders have legions of lobbyists, buckets of political union money, and busloads full of public employees paid by your tax dollars who are doing everything they can to stop us from cutting spending.
I'd rather people come into the system and work with us to lower taxes, to make a government that is limited enough that it doesn't feel the need or have the ability to impinge on liberty. The confession to make is that I've got a little carried away with my disciplining of the freshmen, and I was practicing beforehand to know how far I could go.
Yes.
I went too far.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you oppose his bills.
The principles that have been particularly abandoned by those who I call the spenders and looters as they seek control of our government. And when they achieve that control, what do they want? What do they do? Well, they pay mothers to have children out of wedlock and then wonder why family is breaking down, welfare programs are constantly growing, and children come to school with problems so severe that they can't be educated. I look at towns like Plymouth and Keene and Hanover and particularly Plymouth. They have lost the ability to govern themselves. Because what happens is that the figures in Plymouth, I think, were that they have around, it's 1,100, 1,200 registered voters. They go into these general elections with, have 900 same-day registrations, which are the kids coming out of school and basically doing what I did when I was a kid, foolish, voting as a liberal. And that's what kids do. They don't have life experience, and they just vote their feelings. And they've taken away the town's ability to govern themselves. Mr. Chairman, much as General Washington came to the Continental Congress seeking reinforcements in the War of Independence, I am away this afternoon from the legislative war we have in Concord, where we are fighting for liberty and fiscal responsibility to ask for reinforcements. I'm here to ask you to send the strongest, the most talented, the most articulate Republican available to join with my legislative colleagues and me to fight this war. I'm here this afternoon to ask you to select Jack Kimball as my partner in this battle. Our constituents want a government that works for them and not against them. They want a government of public servants and not elite rulers. They want a government that stands with citizens and not over them. They want a government that has not abandoned the common fiscal sense that we bring to our own lives and that we see when we attend our town meetings and our city hall sessions.